there, Misal back for another video, and as you can probably tell from the title, we'll be talking about characters today. Specifically, different kinds of characters. Some images in this video will likely have watermarks due to my paranoia, so if you're wondering why some of these images have watermarks, that's why. So let's start with characters I have the most of, FCs or fan characters as I believe they're called. Fan characters are characters made for specific shows, comics, movies, anime, or fandoms around stuff like that. On screen you should be seeing one or more of my FCs. I personally like them and I like having stories based on canon or AUs with them, but if you don't like them, that's fine. Everyone likes different things, and while I like FCs, not everyone does. As long as you aren't telling others they're wrong for having fandom characters, I don't see the issue. I also think that having fan characters can improve someone's art as they want to draw their fan characters more. Just like I do, so I can see why so many people have fan characters. Next are OCs, original characters, or fandomless characters as I've heard them been called a couple of times. These characters do not belong with any fandom and thus can be used in original works without having to abide by rules set in existing worlds. Their creator can set the rules of that world or worlds. I don't have very many of these, but I should have at least one on screen. I should probably get a few more of these as they do have less restrictions and can be more fun sometimes. These can be used to make any story you have in mind with a world that follows your rules even if the rules don't make much sense. You just need to have a reason for why your world works the way it does and have a reason for why your character acts the way they do. If you don't know how to get one of these characters, I'll let you know. You can either draw one yourself, or you could buy one from DA, Amino, Twitter, or Tumblr. If you can't find what you're looking for, then you can go to an artist and give them money to make a custom character. If you want to know how to find an artist, order a custom, or how to find an adopt that you want to buy, please let me know in the comments so I may make a video on that in the future. OCs can be as creative as you want. If you want a dragon centaur, you can have one. If you want a character with teeth outside their mouth, wings, an exoskeleton, and tentacle hair, then you can do it. The only limit is your imagination. And maybe your art skills or wallet, depending on how you're getting the character. Sonas are characters that you use to represent yourself. For me, I use a dragon, as I really love dragons. My Sona was also inspired by one of my favorite dragons, Spyro, with some alterations so it's a bit more personal to me. You can have more than one Sona, and they don't have to look exactly like you. The character can be what you want to be, or incorporate things you love. For Sonas, I think you can have as many as you want, though the Sona is a character you'll likely use to represent yourself or a strong part of your personality. I currently have two Sonas, one being my dragon, Misal, and the other being Egan, and a flit who represents my more childlike personality. He's male, so you can be the opposite gender of what your Sonas is, and that's completely fine. It's your character, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Do what you want with it. Okay, so AU characters can be a bit tricky to talk about and be correct, so if I get something wrong, please feel free to yell at me in the comments. AU characters are where you take characters from canon and either change them or change their world. These changes can be as simple as changing the gender or as big as making it a space-traveling adventure to find and kill an eldritch beings. Really, making an AU is where you take canon characters and just mix it up a little bit, or a lot. The last character we're going to cover right now are canon characters. These can be the easiest to explain in my opinion because, according to Wikipedia, in literature, the term canon is used to tell the difference between the original works of a writer who created certain characters and or settings and the later works of others who took up the same character or settings. So what this means is if you make an OC and write a story, you control that canon with your characters, and if someone makes something with the same OCs, it's not canon to your story. Sometimes people only accept canon that has had a larger publication, like from a studio or a book publisher, so that's what they count as canon. Well, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So long!